We have all been there. You start a round of Mahjong, open your hand, and it looks like this. What do? Today, I hope to give some insight on how to play bad hands. Every Mahjong player has encountered this situation before, from those who started playing yesterday to those who have played their entire life. I believe what separates good players from great ones is not how they play good hands, but how they play bad hands, where the odds are not in their favor. Anyone can play a good hand when the tiles just keep on coming, but finesse is needed to manage a bad hand. To begin with, here are two general pointers when you have a bad hand. Firstly, do not think of winning or giving up first. Although you have a lower chance to win, the possibility is still not zero. Secondly, take minimal risks and always prepare an escape path. The important thing is to make sure you can defend anytime you want. Let us now go over some common actions for 4 different types of bad hands. The first type of bad hand, and the most common one, is a normal bad hand with no obvious pattern, such as in this example. With a hand like this, fix the pair first by discarding the 2M, then do not keep any pairs in middle tiles. For example, discard the 5M if that is your next draw. The idea here is to go towards Pingfu while still keeping safe tiles like the Xia and Pei to defend against opponents when necessary. Here's another hand in this category. With this kind of hand, there is a potential for Tanyao. Therefore, get rid of Penchan and focus on drawing in tiles that give Ramman weights, such as middle tiles. However, do not melt, as it means fully committing to a hand that is not only slow, but also leaves you with fewer safe tiles to defend. Focus on maintaining a good shape while still keeping safe tiles. The second type of bad hand is a hand where you have 9 terminal tiles in hand and the rest of your hand is disconnected. With this hand, aim for 13 offense or Kokushi Muso. This also gives you many safe tiles for defense by discarding all the safe terminal tiles in your hand. The third type of bad hand is when you have 2 to 3 pairs of middle tiles with a bad shape. Here, aim straight for Chitoitsu. Shapes like 4466 and 6688 are extremely bad for an opening hand or maintaining a normal man's hand. When there is danger, you can start breaking the safe pairs in your hand. The fourth type of bad hand is a hand like this, where you have 4 to 5 tiles of a suit and 3 to 4 lone honor tiles. Using this example, you want to force Honitsu on the suit with the most tiles and hope to pair up one of your honor tiles. Thus, you should immediately pawn the 6S and chi the 2S if they come. However, you do not want to pawn the only pair of honor tiles, as they can be used as safe tiles in the future. The idea here is to pressure your opponents, bluffing them to fold. Usually, there will only be one attacker remaining, and you can still defend against them if necessary. Here's an important note for bad hands. When deciding your course of action, always choose the direction that can utilize the Dora. For example, do not force Chanta or Junchan when the Dora is a 4-5-6 tile. However, doing so is effective when the Dora is a terminal or win tile. So far I've covered what to aim for at the start of the round. As the round progresses, the situation will change and good players will adapt accordingly. Many people think there are only 2 options when it reaches your turn, to push or to fold. Many beginner guides also emphasize only these 2 options. However, I encourage you to consider 2 more options: to assist and to block your opponents. Essentially, to assist means you drop useful tiles for other players to encourage them to pawn or chi to advance their hand. The opposite of that would be to block, which means you purposely hold all their useful tiles, even at the expense of your own hand progression. At a higher level, you will realize that Mahjong is not a solo game. Not everyone at the Mahjong table is your enemy. Alliances can be formed on the Mahjong table after you understand their intentions and what they are aiming for. In fact, when your hand is bad and you have no intention of winning, it's even more in your interest to manipulate the situation such that you increase or decrease someone else's winning chances. To illustrate this point, I've created a simple scenario here to act as a fun exercise for you. Considering each person's scores and the discard pool, what will your plan of action be, and what will you discard? Feel free to pause the video and think about it. Now, using what we have learned so far, your plan here should be to assist the player on your right and drop the Dora 9p for him to cheat. Basically, you want him to win this hand as it does not affect the overall standings, so you should give him as many useful tiles as you can. Feel free to pause the video to read the detailed explanation. Now here's the exact same scenario, but the score distribution has changed. What is your plan of action and what will you discard? Feel free to pause the video and think about it. Using what we have learned, your plan here should be to block the player on your right and keep all pins to tiles. Even though the 9p is a guaranteed safe tile, you don't want to give him any chance to cheat. Your priority is making sure his hand does not reach the ready stage. Again, feel free to pause the video to read the detailed explanation. The two examples I have given are extremely simplified, but I want to point out one important thing. You have more options when you are ahead in score. If you are dead last with a large score gap, your only option is to push or die trying. Therefore, it is important to try and build a comfortable score lead in the East round, so that you have more options on how to play in the South round. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. As always, if you want to see more of such videos, do leave a like and subscribe. It helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm. See you next time.